A sports season opener. We're talking with Dean Richards, who's a senior producer on Facebreaker. Now, this is the first time you guys have put out a Facebreaker again. Let's tell the audience what it's all about.
Well, Facebreaker is all about the arcade boxing. Laugh out loud, entertaining fun. That at the end of the day, it's a social gaming experience that you really want to kick the crap out of your friend. You know, it's the first flagship game in our freestyle brand, which really speaks to this is a different title than most EA games. This is, you know, expect the unexpected. This is something that's for us is over the top, big punches, a lot of fun, and really speaks to, you know, bringing back that old school gaming experience, which really talks to the simplicity of control.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Fighting games are creeping back slowly because gamers out there can only handle so many first-person shooters, third-person shooters. There's nowhere else to turn for games being developed in the industry right now. And if you listen to this developer, he's sick. He's sick with it. He's sick and tired of shooter games, and he's sick and tired of people like Ed Boon not listening to what people want. Listen to what this guy says. Just pay attention closely.
Goals of getting into it, but then as you get into the strategy of it, actually offers a lot of sense of discovery and actually added depth to the game. And, you know, bringing that to next gen is just a great way to start off the freestyle brand. It's something different than what we're used to seeing, and it's something to give users a different way to play. And you know, for us, that's bringing back the old school gaming experience of, hey, calling your friend over, getting into the game right away, having a lot of fun, a lot of trash talking. It's mano a mano.
The old game experience, bringing your friend over, one-on-one, simplicity. Do you understand what that means? Do you get the fucking understand? Do you get it? Does it make sense to you out there? Quit trying to make fucking games. You get a hit, and then you want to change it. You'd be like Battlefield 2. They come out with a game called Battlefield Bad Company. Mortal Kombat comes out with a hit, they got to completely change the engine. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. If you got a hit, just improve on your hit. Make it better. Take examples from Capcom, Halo, Gears of War. They don't just come out here and try to reinvent the game when it's already a hit. You know, it's like, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
There's no one else but you and your friend, and it's all about kicking his ass. Well, one of the things we want to do with our characters is make sure that they stood up to action figure kind of like stature, and, you know, are kind of, you know, are very iconic. And one of the ways we did that was really give them personality and give them, you know, their fighting style is defined by what they do. You know, we have female characters to male characters. For instance, our female character, kind of inspired by Linda Hamilton, kind of Terminator. Her name's Sparrow. She's an ex-fighter pilot. She's 6 feet tall. She's very powerful, very strong. And she just really wants to kick your ass, and she has lots of aerial attacks. If you
see this guy, he's a real, true fighting game guy who understands fighting games. Because over history, every fighting game made, the female, nobody wants to play her, but then they come to realize later on in the game that the females, mostly in all fighting games, are the strongest characters. For that reason alone. So when you hear that come out of his mouth and he says, you know, she's really strong, you understand that this guy understands the simplicity of fighting games. They got the right producer for the right game. Now, I'm not saying it might not be the best game, but they are on the right track.
We think of a fighter pilot and how they fight. Then we got Romeo, who's kind of your Latin lover, who kind of backhands you and rose petals fall down. And, you know, he's kind of the guy you really want to beat up because he's kind of the, you know, dancing around the ring, and you just want to give him a good shot. All the way down to kind of a character like Steve, who's kind of inspired by like a Jack Black or Chris Farley, who's just, you know, he's kind of a mixer of a boxer and a ninja, if you can imagine that. So he's, you know, one of his punches is like the Karate Kid kick. You know, that's how he does it. So, you know, each character has their own unique personality and unique style.
Now you can understand, you see the difference between this guy's interview and Ed Boon's interview when he talked about DC versus Marvel. Where when I did the video of Ed Boon, he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And you're going to see the difference of when this guy is talking about. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's getting right to the point. He understands his game, and he understands what the gamers want in a fighting game.
That they bring to the game, and speaking to the old school kind of gaming experience, it's all well balanced. You just got to figure out what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths, and what are their special attacks, and how they can really finish off their opponent.
Perfect sense. It's all encompassing. Makes 100%. I understand what he is saying. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, simplicity means that you can get in there and learn the basic controls and have a lot of fun with it. But at the end of the day, it's all about strategy. And what we aren't is we're not a game that's going to memorize 20 different combos to beat your friend that they have no chance to recover, or once you're in it, you're...
You know what he means by that? He means that, listen, we want you to get in the game as a new player and have a chance to play the game and not have these 50,000 bazillion changing style combos that totally loses the interest of any next gen players or anybody who wants to join a game. Or why would you change from one generation of gaming that works for the next and then change it for the next generation and completely lose the generation that you built in from the last generation of gamers that you brought along? You see what I'm saying? This guy knows exactly what he's talking about.
Pretty much done. This is really about bringing that one-to-one relationship back. It's about reacting and attacking and seeing what your opponent's doing, both on your offense and defense. And really, it's about stringing multiple combos and punches together to really build up your facebreaker meter so that ultimately you can actually perform that facebreaker and do the finishing move.
All right, final big question. When's the game coming out and on what consoles?
Game's coming out September 3rd on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and the Wii is coming out at a later date after that.
So exactly. So, this guy covers all the basic information, that we want fighting games to have that we're not getting and can't understand why we're not getting from Mortal Kombat. And this guy is basically saying in a roundabout way that deep down inside he was probably a Mortal Kombat fan, and he can't understand, why Ed Boon would leave such a big window open for someone like this guy to come along and have a big back like EA, who could have really bought Midway but didn't because it's a piece of shit franchise. But that's another story in itself. But you understand the point I'm trying to make here. Just listen to the guy in this video. This guy is on the ball. Fighting games, are a backseat to a lot of other games out there right now, but they're having these new developers come along, and they have a chance to make their mark in gaming, and they start with nothing, and they'll build up to something, and I think fighting games will come back within the next 3 years.